At some business stories now. In the next 24 hours, South Africans will know whether or not we've managed to avoid the dreaded junk status. Global rating agency Standards & Poor's will announce their decision on our credit rating tomorrow evening. They're currently ranking South Africa only one notch above the sub-investment grade, also so-called junk status. Ratings are used by investors to gauge our ability to pay back our debts. Even in junk, South Africa could still borrow funds, but investors may demand higher interest rates, and the higher cost of borrowing will then eat into government spending for other priorities. A few weeks ago, the majority of analysts surveyed were expecting a ratings cut, but there has been some positive predictions recently. The banks rose today, which is being interpreted as another sign of confidence that we may just be able to avoid junk status for now, and the rand has been stronger ahead of tomorrow's decision. Earlier, SABC's Devon Murrigan spoke to ABSA's Chris Gilmore, who says that it isn't over until the rating agencies speak.
The rand is an extremely, it's not just volatile, but it's a very, very tradable currency. Yeah. So I think it's about the number 19th most tradable currency in the world. So it's often seen as being a proxy for emerging market currencies. So to your point, if the dollar is exhibiting any weakness or conversely any strength, then the rand is going to exhibit that in the converse. So now we're seeing the dollar being perceived as being a little bit weak, so the rand picks up a bit. But don't get seduced by it. By tomorrow, it may well have gone, because we're waiting with bated breath for the data tomorrow after hours from S&P.
Yeah, I mean that ratings decision. I mean, I see Praveen Gordhan largely saying that he expects that we will not be downgraded, but of course investors will be waiting for the actual announcement.
Yes, indeed. And look, we had the Moody's surprise, very positive surprise on the upside. And that came with a lot of people were really very chuffed when that came out. S&P are perhaps have demonstrated over the years they're not quite as well disposed towards us as Moody's have been. So they'll cast a very critical eye. They've got a very long established presence in South Africa. They've done their homework, and I'm sure that when they come out, they will present what they think is a fair appraisal of the situation. And as I say, it's after hours. We have taken the view that we'll probably avoid downgrade as well. We agree with the finance minister. And what they'll maybe say is, along the lines of Moody's, let's give you 6 months. Let's see all of these good intentions that you've been talking about translated into something very, very tangible. So Praveen, the finance minister, Praveen Gordhan, has been going around doing a lot of roadshows. He's been tireless in trying to get the private sector to come to the party, because that's probably the only area where we're going to get some growth. And growth, I think, is key to this whole thing. Yeah. You can have as much as you want in the areas of fiscal discipline, and with Praveen at the helm, I think that goes without saying. But unless we can get growth, I think it's going to be difficult to convince the ratings agencies that we really mean business.
Look at your indicators.